Brodes Media.
Boo! What a joke! I mean, it's a disgusting performance after a disgusting performance after a disgusting performance. This offense blows. Trey Turner's hitting .250 on the season. I thought last year he sucked. He had .290 plus, and he sucked then. How do you think I'm feeling now watching him go 0 for 4? Nicky Castellanos, 0 for 4. Fifth inning. Strikes out. Men on second and third. Take a wild guess on where those pitches were that he swung at. 2 out of the 3 damn strikes are outside. They're off speed. The first pitch swinging that he's hacking at is in the dirt, bouncing 4 feet off the plate. When are they going to learn? When? This is now year 4 of this crap? I guess the answer is fucking never. My God, I want to blow my brains out when it comes to watching this team play on a night-to-night basis. I was stunned that Joe Ross even kept you into the action for a couple innings there. Oh, man. Now, we're probably going to get terrible news on the forearm soreness from Christopher Sanchez because why wouldn't we get horrible news? He threw 57, 58 pitches or so through 2 innings. You knew something wasn't right. I was actually stunned the Mets only scored a handful of runs with those first couple of innings that were really rough for Sanchez. You got lucky, but it's not as if this team knows how to get timely hits. Bryson Stott was left on third base in the first. Trey Turner left base runners on second and third in the second. This team sucks at hitting the baseball. And not only that, let's factor in Kyle Schwarber getting doubled up on one of the most routine fly balls in baseball history. There's a real issue here. There's a real problem here. This team doesn't have any juice. They got no fire, man. And when that happens, there needs to be some serious change, which I've been fucking screaming for throughout the offseason, that Dave Dombrowski better not run it back with the same damn coaches because someone needs to lose their job so you can kick this team in the ass. Maybe that's coming soon. Maybe Kevin Long gets canned. The team feels down about it. I don't know. You may laugh at that, but I would have never thought in a million years that firing Joe Girardi would have ever sparked a team as insanely as it did. So I can't rule anything out. Oh, man. Kirkering, let me explain something to you. When the count is 0-2, don't throw a pitch that's hittable right at the bottom half of the plate. That's my 2 cents, if you're listening. That's the information I have for you. I mean, this is baseball 101 stuff. It's garbage. It's what they do nonstop. They make stupid decisions. They don't know how to think the game. They definitely don't know how to execute. This team is lost. When you watch them take the diamond, when you see them on the field, does it look like a team that's got some pop to them? Does it look like a team that has a good energy about them? Like they're ecstatic to play for one another? Like they can't wait to go out there and fucking kill the opponent because they know they're good? Or do they look like a team that has their shoulder slumped and basically all filled of Alec Boehm body language? Because that's the sense that I get. They all are like Alec Boehm. And that horrible body language that he displays when he's in his feels and when he's down and out. I'm not trying to pick on the dude. Hey, whoop-de-doo, you got your nice little 9-game hitting streak. Although, one of those was a fly ball to center field that the center fielder a few games ago just dropped as it hit his glove, and they called that a hit. So, it's bad knowing the scoring that that Major League Baseball does these days, that the batting averages that I'm seeing, 250, 230, 240, it's probably even worse if they actually call damn errors. Like, I don't really think Bohm is on a 9-game hitting streak that should have been snapped after a couple games in a row and it would have had to reset. It should be around 4 or so, but whatever. He's an 8-hole hitter. This is the same guy that was supposed to be a run producer, an RBI machine. That's how this team was built. But hold on a second. For as many RBI as he had last year, for as many doubles as he had last year, they didn't want him. They didn't want him back. So even for his highest of highs that we saw last year before the hand and wrist injury, even then, this team screamed from the mountaintops, please, somebody, please take him. Now, I don't know exactly where this was said. I was listening to the WIP afternoon show and I heard Jack Fritz say this, so I didn't hear the actual cut from Dave Dombrowski, but apparently there was a thing a bit ago from Dave Dombrowski and what he would try to do to make certain trades throughout his career is he would just ask for nonsense and somebody would bite eventually because GMs are really bad at their job. So he would just ask for outrageous shit nonstop. A lot of teams would say no, but it only takes one team to say yes. And if somebody does bite on something that is egregious, then bada bing, bada boom, he's rocking and rolling from there. And I'm just putting that concept and that theory, right, into what probably transpired, if that's one of his beliefs, what transpired this offseason with Alec Bohm. And it's something that I can't keep getting away from, which is publicly they've stated that they didn't get real value back in return when teams picked up the phone. But my guess is they did. But all he wants to do is fleece. If he's not fleecing another team, then he's not doing it. It's just the roles are reversed. For this particular situation, if teams are calling about Alec Bohm, he's going to get something that is a reasonable package, but in his eyes, he's only going to do it if it's something crazy where the Phillies come out on top, not if it's an even deal, not if it actually makes sense and there's real substance to it. So he spins it that they didn't get what they were looking for, but what was actually available is something that was reasonable value for Bohm. He just didn't want to admit that Bohm wasn't going to get back a crazy amount that he would want back. Does that make sense? But anyway, I don't know where that story was about the way that Dave Dombrowski tries to attack certain trades, but definitely made my eyebrows raise because it just seems like a flawed-ass president of baseball ops. Truth be told, I still do not know how he won a championship if this is the way that he operates. Maybe he had a different mentality in years past, which we know he would strip the entire prospect pool and he would go all in. And I'm not telling him to do that right now because I think they missed their mark. But somewhere along the way, when you study when he left Boston, when you study when he left some of these other organizations and how he's currently managing now, I think there is a difference, whether that's Dave Dombrowski trying to prove to Nashville, a startup potential squad in Major League Baseball, that he doesn't have to sell off the farm, whether it's John Middleton saying, do not get rid of the Aiden Millers, the Andrew Painters, or any of the Justin Crawfords, because I need to sell tickets whenever this core does get too old, and we need that new wave of Phillies, and we can't get stuck with whatever happened after the 2008 to 2009 2012-ish run or so, 2011, once we started to get to that, 13, 14, 15, it was so anemic that we can't do that again. So maybe ownership has stepped in. I'm not sure. But this is an absolute embarrassment that this is where we now stand with this franchise. And I just don't know what to do anymore. And what's truly upsetting me is I'm not really stunned by this. All off season long, I may have annoyed some because I was not being optimistic whatsoever, but it was so clear. But this is where the frustration lies. It's not that the team is doing this. It's that it was so fucking obvious that this was going to be a problem again. It was so damn obvious that if they were to make zero changes, double down, and not fix center field, not get better bullpen arms than Joe Ross and Jordan Romano, and not actually improve the roster, and not have any sense of urgency by people losing their job for previous failures with multiple cracks at it, by the way. It wasn't as if Kevin Long 1 year, hey, it didn't work. This is season after season after season with the same failure after failure after failure. There is an issue, and you cannot see that these are not connecting, that this team, it's not fully working. But all Dave Dombrowski wants to do is say, well, hold on a second. We just need to get lucky in October. We need to get lucky in October. Lucky. So that's what we're doing. We're holding all of our hope on luck. We just need to get lucky. Don't even think about if we're good enough. Don't think about the fact that you can do terrible at your job, but keep your job. And how about actually getting coaches in here that can change, ideas and beliefs and concepts to see if we can rebrand ourselves a little bit? Nah, forget all that. Let's not do that. Let's just hope that we get lucky. I asked the question again. How did you think this was going to go any way other than this way? And it's a complete nightmare. What's not a nightmare is my lawn, because it got fixed thanks to Green Lawn Fertilizing. That is correct. Green Lawn Fertilizing is the best in the Philadelphia area and the best in market. They are experts in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, and extremely knowledgeable, so much so that they've created their own custom blend that will have your lawn recovering from the drought that we had last year. The first round is super important to lay the groundwork for the rest of the season. So this is what Green Lawn Fertilizing is offering for you right now. They are offering 2 free treatments and 10% off for all of you. Green Lawn Fertilizing has already started treating lawns, so you gotta get started today. Make sure you check out the link in the description, which will take you right to their website through my link. It'll tell them that Brodes sent you. And it's funny, I just got another treatment done. There's a few treatments that have to get done through X amount of weeks, and my neighbors are now starting to talk to me because they are realizing that there's a big difference on how my lawn looks now compared to 5-6 months ago. And I'm like, yo, dude, listen, they come here. First off, they're like family. It's just such an awesome relationship. They communicate with you, teach you what exactly they're doing, what it's going to look like, the process. They come here, they knock it out, snap your fingers, doesn't take too long for each treatment. And as they consistently do it, you're just going to watch your lawn turn into a masterpiece. And you should absolutely 1,000% join the Green Lawn Fertilizing family. Make sure you check out the information down below. With that, I don't know how much more I got to say. They play again tomorrow at 1 a.m. Or 1 p.m. 1 p.m. I got to be up at 5 a.m. So I said my piece. Let's take some anytime hotline calls, hear from the people. I'm sure they're all angry as well.
So, Brodes, dude, I can't take it anymore. I cannot watch this team anymore. It's even hard just being a fan of this team anymore. Like, they cannot win in Atlanta. They cannot win in New York. It's a joke. They walk around like their shit doesn't stink, yet they cannot beat either division rival in those stadiums. They roll over every time. They're soft. The magic is gone. They can enjoy their cute little series win against the Marlins that literally nobody cares about. They run back the same offense and wonder why nothing improves. They progressed for years in a row. They got embarrassed in the NLDS last year by the Mets, and then you show up this year and you roll over again. Have some balls. Go win a freaking series and get pissed off. Like, the fans are more pissed off than the players. It's a freaking joke. This team is so soft. They go through the motions daily. They look miserable. The manager attitude just, we'll get him tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Doesn't work anymore. No accountability. No fire from this team. No nothing. They need to sell at the deadline. I'm so serious. I know it's early. I don't even care, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm not at the point of thinking about selling at the deadline. And truth is, these deals that are problematic, Trey Turner, right? The Kyle Schwarber one is one that they're probably going to try to extend. But, you know, in theory, and I'm not doing this today. I'm just telling you, I'm not doing that. Nobody wants Nick's deal. Kyle and JT are expiring contracts. So, I mean, they're going to try and extend Kyle, though. My guess is they're going to try to extend JT Real Muto as well to a certain number and try and justify it because it would be less money than what he's getting paid now, even though he's a shell of himself compared to the miles that he has on his body at this point. It's just he's not that good. He's just not that good. And I remember telling people, relax, after he had a cool throwdown to end the game. What was that, the Dodger series? Because outside of the Dodger series, let's be frank here, I mean, they beat up on some really bad teams in Colorado, in Washington, and against the Miami Marlins. You remove those type of squads off of their record, they are under 500, reasonably so. But the whole sell stuff, I mean, look, we got real problems here, okay? We got some serious, real issues from a systemic level that a deadline sale, like that doesn't even fix the real serious, strong conversations that we have to have about the state of the Philadelphia Phillies. So I'm not at that particular point. But when it comes to the lack of desire, there's no doubt about it. They do not play with that juice that we need. And when you start to see guys like Kyle Schwarber, I mean, what are we doing here, right? I know the game probably seemed out of your reach, but say that to the ninth inning yesterday. I may not have valued the ninth inning in game one, but Bryson Stott hit a bomb. The team got going a little bit until Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, your $300 million men decided to fail again in a very non-competitive at-bat, by the way, by Bryce, which is disappointing. You can fail. You can have, you know, a strikeout or whatever, but you can't have it in the fashion that he had it with Edwin Diaz in the ninth inning. And I bring that up because when Kyle Schwarber, who is a leader, who is a lead by example guy, who is a watch me, I will show you how to do it, and when things are rough, you got to lean on the guys that have been through the lows, and Schwarb's been through the lows, he's been through the highs, he's been through the 162, he's been through a lot of, you know, crazy emotional journeys. When you're in one and your team is stuck and it seems like they are flatlining and they're not really in control right now, you lean on him. He's getting doubled up. So now your leaders are even looking like they're urinating all over their legs and standing in a yellow ass puddle, just standing there, and that stench, that terrible smell of urine is just up the nostrils nonstop. Bryce going hitless, Kyle doubled up, Nick swinging at the same crap that he swings at 24/7 to get struck out. When there's men in scoring position and you need a timely hit. I mean, these are your leaders. Trey cannot produce. He's bad. Trey's bad. Trey's really bad. He's really, really bad. He's bad. He's bad. He's not good. He is not a superstar. He is bad. Like, there were times where I was saying he's good, not a superstar, but he's good. He might not even be that. I don't know. I think maybe he's just good, but I don't know. He'll never be what we need him to be. That's for damn sure. What's next?
Yeah, man, you were right the whole time. I mean, you were the only one who said it. This team was not ready to play this year. They can't run it back, you know, with the same shit every year. It's ridiculous. This is just unbelievable. I'm speechless. I'm pretty speechless right now. It's just, you called it, and I don't know how people actually thought that this was a good idea to run it back. I mean, again, this is the fall in love with players because it was a fun ride 3 years ago, but 3 years ago, they still didn't win. They got really far, they passed expectations, but, to keep these guys around because they had such a fun run the last couple of years besides the Mets series itself. But, the team had a fun ride. It's over. The fun is over. Nobody's having fun. And, nobody made the moves to get extra pieces. That falls on Dombrowski. I mean, it's just unreal. It's unreal, and it was expected, and I appreciate that you actually seen the light in it because your colleagues didn't, because they're the biggest homers and idiots that exist.
Whoa. You have to take shots at some of the hosts over at the other at the station, and they just feel how they feel. Like, if they feel optimistic, they feel optimistic. Listen, the homers that you say about the Phillies, those same people were not as up on Jalen Hurts, and they didn't feel great about Jalen Hurts. So I'm just saying, they feel optimistic about who Bryce Harper could be, who Nick could be. I just didn't see it that way. That's all, because I've seen what the last few years have been. I just got to stand up for my guys. All right? Now, listen. Todd Zalecki just tweeted this out. Christopher Sanchez said, based on initial exams, he's confident his forearm soreness isn't serious, although he said he's never experienced anything like this in a game before. Rob Thompson said they could rework the rotation next week to give Christopher Sanchez extra rest. We'll know more on Wednesday. My guess is they are going to be very, 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 very cautious with him, knowing that Ranger Suarez is starting to get some time throwing the baseball down in the minors. So Rob Thompson said post-game that Christopher Sanchez did see a doctor and they're not expecting any structural damage to his forearm. It is only tightness. The Phillies will reevaluate Sanchez over the next few games. That does seem a little optimistic, but I can never, ever in a million years say that it is something to take their words on, injury stuff. It's just sometimes they sell a certain message to try and make it not seem as brutal as it actually is. And whenever we're talking about forearm soreness for a pitcher, whether there's no structural damage now, maybe it's something where it's beginning, and I don't ever want to see that. But I'm just saying, if you are going to pursue Christopher Sanchez being a starter again, and there's something that is super tight, well, I'd imagine that it could set things up down the road to be a disaster if it's already kind of tight now. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. It's just not as bad of news as maybe we thought we'd hear post-game. So what was brought up there? Not having fun. Yeah, because I used to debate if they needed to have fun again, if they needed to get loose, be silly, pour water on each other's heads and this and that, and find that funny goofiness just so, it's not so tight. Because I know this team doesn't work well tight. You've already shown me that when you are supposed to go execute and you put pressure on you to do it, you don't know how. But at the same time, if I pretend that it doesn't matter and it's not that serious and you don't have to worry because the expectation is you don't have to be great and you could just go lolly all the way up to the batter's box every single time, and that's what makes you succeed, I don't know, then are you really the mental makeup that I need you to be? Because let's be honest, when you're in the World Series and you need to get it done and it's a big at-bat, if the pressure getting to you is going to stop you, then you don't stand a chance because you can't lottie-dottie-dottie, let's go have fun through an NLCS, through a World Series. So if you can't understand how to get by and how to maximize yourself and be great throughout the April month here, or the May or the June months of regular season baseball because there's pressure to perform, what's it going to be like when you get to the playoffs? Well, I think we know. Last year, 95 wins, division winner. You're supposed to beat the Mets, and you shit yourself. And then you're facing the Diamondbacks in Game 6 and Game 7 at home, and you shit yourself. So that's what they do. That's who they are. They can't actually survive and be a threat when they are expected to. So at this time, I don't know if having fun, getting loose, if that really changes anything. Because you can't have that mentality when you're in the playoffs. It's supposed to be intense. It's supposed to be high pressured. You're supposed to own the moment. And if they can't own the moment now and they have to revert into, all right, whatever, let's just go see what happens and hope that loosens you up. I can't have you saying, let's just see what happens when you're in the playoffs. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's loser energy. I want you to know you're going to go up there and be a force, you know? But they don't have it. It's just the truth. They don't have it. Take one more call.
Hunters, thank God we have the Stanley Cup playoffs to at least try to distract us from the Phillies disaster, because, my God, I've never seen a team that is just so anemic. It literally tires you watching this team. I was falling asleep constantly because there's just nothing going on with this team right now. They just completely fucking stink. When your starters really can't do everything in the world, sadly Sanchez goes down with the forearm stuff, your offense can't hit with base runners at all. Turner can't. Harper can't. Schwarber can't. Castellanos can't. And then the rest of the team, et cetera, they just cannot hit when it comes to clutch situations. And that is so annoying.
Seems like a problem. Paid those guys a lot of dough. This team was built to be able to produce runs. While they do have a nice pitching staff, and we're dealing with some injury stuff right now, but they do have a good pitching staff. But the truth is, this team needs to rake. If they don't rake, you are screwed. And they don't know how to. Your run production today, let this sink in, came from Johan Rojas. Your run production today came from Johan Rojas. That'll be all. We'll talk again tomorrow. Have a good night.